the House Party Queen. This is the House Party Queen.
This is the House Party Queen on Get Your Radio.
The House Party Queen on Get Your Radio. Get your radio with the House Party Queen. This is the House Party Queen.
This is the House Party Queen on Get Your Radio.
The House Party Queen on Get Your Radio. Get your radio with the House Party Queen. Incidentally, guys, we're talking about GY Radio. I've got my mug here. Have you got your mug? Where's yours, HP? I bet you ain't got it with you. I've got my mug, and there are very limited. These mugs are. In fact, they're limited. There's only a few limited ones left on the website. Getyourtickets.co.uk. Very few limited. In fact, the limited ones are different to the ones that we have. So you could have that mug that no one else is getting. Only 9 other people will get that mug. These ones are different, but there were 10. I don't know how many more is available online at the moment, but do check out the site, getyourtickets.co.uk. Only $9.99. Also, free delivery. Free package and delivery and all the rest of it, all right? For your limited edition GY Radio mug. Can you unmute yourself, please, HP? Unmute yourself. That's it. I've got you.
I always mute myself, you know, because I'm always saying things on camera, so it's a protection. It's protection.
I tell you, these cameras ain't no joke. That's why I put your little thing up this now. Just covered it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So the time now is what we got? Just after 8 minutes past 2. We're live on gyradio.co.uk. We're live till 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock is TQ till 6. 6 o'clock dial tone for an hour. Then we've got a clash between 7 and 8. It's going to be back to back. 8 and 10, DJ Trevor. And 10 till about 2 in the morning, Big G. He puts on a big show on the radio tonight, Big G, on a Saturday night. On a Saturday night, it is Big G. Who have we got? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Georgia.
Hi.
Hello, Georgia. Oh, hello. That's it. We need her up on the main screen. We need to see this beautiful young lady. Thank you, Georgia, for joining House Party Queen today on the virtual couch. Thank you. Good to see you.
You too.
That looks like your office back there. Is that your office or your bedroom?
Yeah. My bedroom. Yeah.
So, say that again. Sorry, my darling.
It's my bedroom.
Well, I tend to call bedrooms offices now because that's what they are, or schoolrooms, or what they have been for the last couple of months. Is that where you've done all your schoolwork whilst you've been in lockdown?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So welcome to my show, Georgia. I'm just going to spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes talking to you before I bring on my next guest, just to find out what's been happening for you during lockdown and perhaps how you've coped with it also. Because I remember I worked as a support assistant at school. And all I remember, and this is to parents, by the way, if the parents are in the background, and that I used to sit in the back of the classrooms and help the younger people with the lessons going on. And I don't remember French or German. I did that way back in secondary school, and I'm having to support these students. So I feel for you parents out there that had to do this for all your children. You don't know languages and you don't know Pythagoras' theorem, and you're having to teach your child that. So big up to the parents there. But how has it been for you, Georgia, at home for the past year?
Well, we first went into lockdown towards the end of year 6. So it was a bit of a shock because we were like getting ready for the transition into secondary school. But we didn't like get to do all the things that we were meant to, like the SAT, the end of year test. And we were meant to go on a 1-week trip to kind of like celebrate the end of primary school, but we didn't get to do that. So it was a bit of a shock at first, and I really wasn't happy because I was missing out on quite a lot. But like as lockdown went on for longer, it got way easier to get used to it, and I started doing things like cooking and baking, and it like helped me get through it really.
You know, you've answered like about three questions I was going to ask there all at once. Because one of the things I was going to ask is what skills have you picked up during lockdown? And obviously, it's been cooking and baking. Can you make your own cakes now?
Yeah, sometimes I use recipes from Google, but I think I'm starting to be able to like make things from scratch.
That's amazing. And what about, and is this for cooking as well? Can you cook the dinner in the evening then, or a Sunday dinner? Is that the standard that you've got to now because of lockdown?
Kind of. I've started making things like spaghetti bolognese and like chow meins for dinner and stuff. Yeah.
Great stuff. So I'm waiting for my invitation when I'm coming round for spaghetti bolognese. It's going to be cooked and made by Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I look forward to my invitation. That was a big prompt there, by the way. Right. Um, so what's a typical day like in your household when you are at school? Forget that this was during COVID. I know you're back at school now, but before that, what was your typical day like? What time did you get up? How long did you do lessons for, and what happened afterwards?
So I would wake up around 8:30 and then log in to my schoolwork. And sometimes, if I was lucky, certain lessons the teachers would just forget and then they wouldn't set us any work. So I'd just be able to like relax for a bit. And then I had lunch at about 12:15, which was good. I like spoke to my friends during that time on like FaceTime. So it could be like we were really in school talking whilst we eat. And then I just had three more lessons in the afternoon. And then I could just do whatever I wanted, really. Yeah.
So what time does lessons finish? What time did lessons finish at school?
Do you mean like in real life or like
On
on?
what whilst you were on Zoom?
Oh, 3, around 3. Yeah.
Okay, so Nalia finished at 12 every day. You're finishing at a normal school day at 3 o'clock. Do you
Yeah.
think it was, did you find it difficult to study through Zoom as opposed to being at school?
Um, I didn't exactly find it difficult. The teachers were quite clear with what they wanted us to do, and they set us a decent amount of work. But I would say I prefer to be in school than learning through a screen.
And what about if you needed support, extra support? Could you go to the teachers, or were you more reliant upon your mum to give you that extra support?
Well, they did when on the register where we have to sign in. There's an option that we can tick if we want to talk to them about something. But I personally, I don't really like. Um, I would rather open up to my mum and people that I like know closely than teachers because sometimes they don't always understand where we're coming from. But I feel like it's easier to relate to people that I know.
Okay. And have you found any subjects difficult learning on Zoom? Is there any particular subjects you found hard to perhaps pick up on Zoom as opposed to being at school?
I feel like I found geography a bit harder, because like in school, we can easily like put our hands up and ask teachers things, and they can explain it thoroughly. But like in a lesson through Zoom, they don't always have like a meeting face to face. They might just post a PowerPoint and get us to go through it, and I'm not really always so clear on what we're meant to do through just scrolling through a PowerPoint.
Okay, so did you get any other materials as well? I'm sorry, you're a very interesting person to talk to because I knew nothing about what happened during lockdown and schooling, and you're giving me all this information. So did you guys get sent like workbooks or anything, or it's just PowerPoints and Zoom that you guys had to work on?
No, we weren't given much. We just have our normal school books with us, and then they just give us work and we just do it really. They have like resources online that we could click like links if we need help that we can go to, but they just kind of leave it to us.
Okay. And so do you think you work harder at home or at school?
I personally think at home, even though I prefer in school, I think I've noticed some of my subjects I've been doing better online rather than in school. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I just kind of noticed that subjects like history I've become better at.
Okay. So I know you said it in the beginning during COVID that you found it very difficult to be at home. As time's gone on, did you then appreciate the fact that you were at home and you were able to go to school and then be at home around mum and then pick up these new skills? Did it make you appreciate that time, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've been able to take a lot out of being in lockdown.
Okay, this is a bit more of a personal question. Did you fight more at home with mum?
I don't, no, not really. Um,
Answer that wisely, I think. You didn't fight more at home with mum. That's good. That's
no.
good. And what about if you wanted your own space? Because obviously you're at home all day. How do you get your own space and your own peace of mind?
Well, luckily enough, I have my own bedroom,
A
so
sweet thing.
I kind
Shut
of just, yeah, I
shut the
kind of
door.
just sometimes.
Shut and lock the door. See you, mum. Bye. So the other question about mum. Sorry, mum, if you're in the background listening. Was mum a good teacher?
Well,
Again,
yeah,
answer wisely.
I think a lot of things that I was stuck on, my mum was able to like help me with it, but I didn't really need that much help with some things. But the things that I needed help with, she was there and she was able to like help me to understand it better.
Oh, that's brilliant. And so you're now happy to be back at school also, I
Yeah,
bet. I bet mum
yeah.
is as well. Mum's got some time too. How do you think you'd feel if we had to go through another lockdown again?
To be honest, I don't think I would mind that much. Being on screens all the time is a bit tiring as well because like normally to like cool down after school, I would just go on a screen and play like a computer game or something. So going like being on the screen all the time is a bit like a lot to handle, but I don't think I would mind that much going back into a lockdown. The only thing I miss is like seeing my friends and being able to talk to them face to face.
Okay. So you didn't enjoy the technology. I mean, obviously you used WhatsApp and Zoom and all these other social media platforms to interact with your friends. You still had that amount of interaction, I take it, with them.
Yeah,
Okay, you just weren't able to see them personally. So
yeah.
now lockdown has ended and you're back at school. Are you much more happier now?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a lot better to be in school where I can see my friends and talk to them and be around them. I feel like it's just boosted my moods a bit to be around people that I haven't seen for a really long time.
Oh, great. You've been fabulous, Georgia, asking all these questions for me. So, what are you going to do? Like, lockdown, and now that lockdown's ended, what do you hope to do outside of the home? Is it just about catching up with friends and getting back to the life that you had beforehand?
Yeah, definitely. I've like heard about how secondary school subjects like science, you get to do a lot of experiments in labs, and the food tech, you get to like cook in actual cooking rooms. But like I haven't been able to like experience that yet because secondary school is a lot similar to primary school at the moment because it's like more about the writing and the learning side, and the fun sides of it isn't really there at the moment. So I'm really excited to get to like see how that works.
Oh, well, you've been a fabulous guest, but I'm not taking you off just yet. I'm going to add my next guest on with you because some of the questions are similar. Maybe you might be able to speak together. Can we bring Chanel in as well? Where's Chanel?
Chanel, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello.
Unmute.
Hello, Chanel. How are you? That's it. We've got everybody there. Now I can see
Hello.
everybody. How are you, Chanel? Can you hear me, Chanel?
Good.
Good, I'm glad. Now, I've been asking
Yeah.
Georgia a lot of the questions, so I'm going to ask you some questions as well. Okay. How have you found being at home and working from home? You're doing your schoolwork from home, I should say.
I
Chanel, are you
found
wearing
I
headphones?
felt it like it's a bit boring. No.
I think
Okay.
what's happening is that Chanel's got a little bit of a delay. So when I speak, it then goes over to her, and then it gives it's a couple of seconds before she can reply to me. I'm guessing that.
Okay.
Sorry, Chanel, I didn't hear what you just said. Could you just repeat that?
I felt like it was boring at home.
Really? What did you actually do at home then when you actually wasn't doing work at school? Did you do anything like cooking? Did you take up any new skills?
I
Or
was
was your dad
cooking and baking,
you was cooking
and
and
I was on
baking?
my tablet doing TikTok. Yeah.
Y- yes, I know you are a TikTok specialist. I saw some of your TikTok videos, I think just yesterday. So I'm glad that I think a lot of young people have been doing a lot of social media stuff. Did you do anything on social media, Georgia, during your time at home? Did you go on
Um,
YouTube?
yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok actually. I don't really post that much anymore, but I really enjoy like scrolling through it. I could do that for hours.
And so, Chanel, how did you find your dad at home as a teacher? Do you think he was any good?
Yeah, but when it came to math, he wasn't that good, so I got my brother because he's really good at math.
So your dad's really bad at maths. And by the way, everybody, just to
Yeah.
let you know who Chanel's dad is, it's King Romy himself, right? King Romy, he's on GY Radio. Chanel is his daughter. So now everybody, you need to rib King Romy a little bit that he knows nothing about maths. Thank you for revealing that, Chanel. So what was your typical day at home like when you was at school? What time did you have to get up for school?
So I just get up at like dark, and then I chill, and then at 12 o'clock I go on Zoom and finish at 1ish, and then after that they give us some things to do like maths and English, and then because it's not on Zoom, we finish it whatever time we want.
You finish at any time you want. That sounds like I want to be back at school if I can
Yeah.
finish any time I want. 12 o'clock every day for me. I want to go to Nala's school. Finish at 12 o'clock every day and the day is done. So what's your favourite subject at school, Chanel?
English.
English. Ah, do you read a lot?
Yeah.
So that's another question. Did you guys do a lot of reading in lockdown? I'm normally a big reader. I used to have a whole stacks and stacks and shelves of books. I didn't do any reading at all. Two things I didn't do during lockdown was watch TV or do reading. I was in front of my computer screen all the time. Did you guys read? Are you avid readers?
Well, I'm not a massive fan of reading, to be honest, but I have found some books that I've enjoyed in lockdown.
And what books have they been?
At the moment, I'm reading Series of Unfortunate Events, and I was reading a book. I think it's called Max Remy's Super Spy or something like that. But it was a really good book. Yeah.
Okay. And Chanel, did you do any reading?
Yeah, I really like reading. I don't know why.
You really like it.
Yeah.
What's your favourite book then?
I like the author David Williams.
Oh, is it David Williams? Is that his name? Is it the guy that's got Britain's
Yeah.
Got Talent? Is he the one? Oh, yes, because he's done a series of books. Yes. And what's it been like at home with you with Dad? Have you and Dad had some arguments at home, or has it all been all good during lockdown because you're together all the time?
Sometimes it's been an argument.
I hope you put him in his place, right? You tell him House Party Queen says, I need to put you in your place, Dad, right? You tell him next time when you see him. Romy's going to kill me. Do you think that you've worked harder at home or at school, Chanel?
I think I've worked hard at school.
You think it's been a little bit easier at home?
Yeah.
And what was it like for support for you also? What about if you found something really hard? What happens? Do you go to your teachers? Do you go to your dad? What happens?
I just email my teachers.
And they come back to you with more help, do they? Do they come online with you or do they just email you with help? What actually happens? Say, for example, you were struggling with something on in an English or geography lesson and you needed more help
So,
and you
so I'll go on my tablet and I would go on the mail. I would email them and tell them that I need help, and then they will give me some help. And yeah,
so they come on screen and give you help?
no, just email me.
So it's just emails only. They don't come back and give you that support in person. Did they do that with you, Georgia? Was it just emails?
Well, I don't really know how to email my teachers, but if I wanted help, they do come back on the screen. Like if I message them before the lesson, they'll probably go through it as a class in case anyone else needs help with it.
Okay. And so did you have a full classroom on Zoom as well, where you saw everybody, like 30 people? Is it how many of you guys in a classroom on Zoom?
30. Not
So
everyone's
there's
always there.
sorry?
Not everyone's always there though. You're meant to be, but not everyone always shows up.
Oh wow. Did you have a number? Was it low numbers then in comparison to
Um,
when it was at school?
Not really. Maybe about 5 people don't show up per lesson. It's not.
Okay. And Chanel, did you have to have your camera on all the time whenever you're doing lessons?
Yeah, you have to have your camera on.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've asked as much questions as I've got. Does anybody else out there want to ask these lockdown heroes any questions?
Guys, if you've got a question on Mixcloud or Facebook, put it in the chat ASAP for the young ladies, Chanel and Georgia. All right, put it in the chat because we're actually 5 minutes behind time now. See, we was all good for time before, but now we're actually 5 minutes behind time. So put it in the chat quickly if you can.
Chanel, one question for you. Have you struggled at home at any point during lockdown? Have you found it difficult at all being at home all the time?
Yeah, really difficult.
Really difficult. What have you done when you found stuff difficult? Have you just gone to your room? Do you go and speak to someone? Do you speak to friends? What do you do?
I speak to my brother mainly because he's really, really smart.
Ah, and he gives you all the help you need and advice when you need it.
Yeah.
Good, good. And anything else you learnt at home during COVID, during lockdown? Is there anything else you did differently than you did before? Or maybe not. I think we may have lost her a little bit.
To bake and I learned how to bake and I learned how to mix on the mixer.
Ah, so we have another potential DJ coming up then. So we may have to give you a guest spot on last minute Zoom parties as well. If you're starting to DJ, that would be good. And I've got another invitation there. I'm coming up to Birmingham soon, so I will see you shortly. So I expect to have Chanel Heaven cakes ready for the house party queen. Can you promise me that I get Chanel Heaven baked cakes when I come up there next month?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll expect that. I'm going to show everybody on social media because you've promised me now. I'm looking for my cakes. I'm going to display it out on my Facebook page to say these cakes were baked as promised by Chanel Heaven. So I can't wait. Anyway, Chanel, Georgia, you have been absolutely amazing. We have got some bits and pieces for you just to say thank you. And of course, you've been our lockdown angels. So as with everybody else, we've got these wonderful trophies for you both that you're going to get with your name on to say you've been a lockdown hero. And I've got these certificates for you also. So there's yours, Georgia, for being a lockdown hero. It's the House Party Queen Lockdown Angel Achievement Awards. Well done. And we've got yours as well, Chanel. Spelt your name wrongly there. Blame your dad, but I'm going to amend that for you. Right. And these are going to get sent out to you and they'll come to you shortly. So well done for being lockdown heroes. You guys have done amazingly well to spend a year at home on Zoom learning. I don't know how I can do it. I go to work every day and I'm trying to do stuff on Zoom and I'm like, I don't even want to be on here today. Why am I here? And I could be at home rolling downstairs or something. So you guys have been amazing to be away from your friends. I mean, if I was your age, I don't know what I would have done. So well done. Congratulations. I'm glad you guys are back at school, as well as I'm sure all parents are as well. Congratulations, guys, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay on. Don't go just yet. We've got a quiz competition coming up. We're going to take a quick break.
I think you should have called this show Inspiration, you know.
I'm telling you, I can't cope. I just these children I've spoken to today have just filled me with so much. I think I just want to talk to kids now. I don't want to talk to adults anymore. Kids are more inspiring. I'm telling you, you can learn so much more. I mean, Georgia, and Georgia's connected to your dear self, and Chanel's is Romy's daughter. So Georgia's amazing, and so is Chanel. Can't believe it. Just the clarity, the confidence. I'm actually blown away today.
I think children are more confident nowadays. I believe.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
We've got some issues with children, I think, with low self-esteem and low confidence. I mean, these are kids that have been brought up in a very positive household, the ones I've had on today. But I've seen some that are really going through the motions, that don't have supportive parents, struggling through school. If you're young and struggling through school, imagine what's happening on Zoom. If you're sitting in a class of 30 and can't cope, how are you going to cope on Zoom? And the fact of the matter is that the schools weren't doing anything much about kids that weren't attending, because not everyone had broadband, not everyone had a laptop to give each child. Imagine you're a family of 4 and 2 adults are working. You've got 2 laptops in the house and you've got 4 kids. How are you going to spread your time around? There's massive difficulties with most families during COVID. And I think everybody has to recognise that. And I think they should pull a year back from school. For a whole set of children, because there's a lot of lost learning there, and there's going to be some forgotten kids. And I'm hearing about some of these secure schools that are being planned now to move more of our young black children into them, where they think they're not learning or stupid or incapable, whereas they just need more support. And we as parents have to recognise that, recognise your children are not doing well, and give them more support any which way you can, because we cannot afford for any more to fail. I'm sick and tired of seeing our young black people in police stations being arrested, at 15 years old. Where are the parents? And it's not always the parents' fault. Let me just put that back out there straight. It's a product of the environment and society that we live in at the moment. And social media's got a big part to play in that also.
No, definitely.
But we need to spin this around. We need to spin this around for our children massively. This whole COVID thing has brought food for thought to the table for a lot of people, and I think we just need to take it on board and take in some of what these children have been telling us today, because it's been amazing.
Oh, definitely. So shall I play one quick one?
Yeah.
One quick one. Let's see what I can line up for. Let's see what I can. I'm trying not to,